The world is based on trade, on money, sadly. Good example of this during this media scenario, these so-called claimed epidemic, global national emergency about to turn pandemic. Ooh, yet still showing little signs of killing people outside of China. Even Korea, the percentages are ridiculous when you factor in the elderly, the sick. 1,160 people infected, 12 deaths now, I think. It's just not worth writing home about until we might see the effects up front and personal. So why the sudden interest in the economy again from my perspective? Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but they've made very subtle, not so subtle, buying indicators for people to prepare, especially across the West, where we have the disposable income to do so. Obviously, many countries outside of the West don't have the financial capability to just drop things and maybe add some extra food, some water filters, masks. And I know people are doing this, and I know that there's no big outcry, and I know it's being done a lot of the time quite subtly, and that people are cautious, and quite rightly so. But it hasn't half shown in the global retail index. While the stock market's down, the retail figures, but only for the past 48 hours, mind, are very strong, very strong. And the supermarkets seem to have known this in advance and set up very well accordingly. So it only kind of reinforces my thoughts that this is kind of premeditated industrial financial move, otherwise known as a scam. For what purpose? Obviously, now we see the cashless society, the vaccine, the implant as a real possibility for all of us. Whether it's voluntary, we don't know, but certainly within some of our lifetimes. And that's really alongside the economic crashes of China, obviously, maybe Japan and Korea, but Korea is coping with this quite well, as I believe Japan is. Those two UK couple that were on the cruise ship who were interviewed, and I'm going to quote what their son said to you. Well, they've been diagnosed with the coronavirus, but they don't, sorry, it just makes me chuckle to myself. They're not on any medication and they're not showing any symptoms. So you could find that if you like. I don't have the link now, but if people request it, I will find that link. The son of the couple, the British couple on the cruise liner that was quarantined, who now returned home, who the media like to focus on, actually interviewed their son. I don't want to repeat myself, but I've got to. He said, it's funny, he said they're not on any medication. He said they're not showing any signs of or any symptoms, but they've both been diagnosed with the coronavirus. I mean, you can't make this up, can you? Can you? Someone is. Cheers.